Right, hello. You'll have to excuse the hairdo, the fan, and the fact that only one of the curtains is shut. It's stupidly hot today, so sorry about that. But anyway, into the main video. Gerhard Struber is here. Gerhard Struber, I think it's there he is how it's actually pronounced. I think it's a contract till 2028, I do believe. I'm happy. Initial thoughts. Buzzing. Obviously got Cologne promoted, effectively got sacked after like 44 out of 46 games, I think it was. Or something like that. No, must have been 32 out of 34, because that's how many they play over in Germany, I do believe. But as anyway, a very strong appointment, high pressing, high intensity, attacking, nice to watch football. It's kind of just what we want in it, really, what any football fan really wants. So buzzing with that. Sorry, I've got to shuffle that around slightly because the lighting is getting a bit weird. But yeah, it's only going to be a short video, because to be perfectly honest, it's roasting and I don't particularly want to be making one. But here we are. Overall, yeah, very strong appointment. Some key points from the press conference, which I think is only just wrapping up. I watched the first half of it just to get some quotes for this. So basically, overall, he thinks that the club's a good match with his DNA, which is not like in terms of like how his style of play and stuff. He wants to make his style of play very clear and like make it obvious that that's where they want to go. He wants to be attacking football, get it high up the pitch, move it fast, and press when we lose the ball, etc., etc. Sort of everything a football fan really wants in it. And then the next points, which I thought were really, really important, is that he really wants to give academy players a chance and develop them in the first team. Absolutely massive for me. I want to see Josh Stokes, right, I know he's not an academy player, but very young player. I want to see Campbell slowly a little bit. I want to see Elijah Morrison more. He got, what, like 50 minutes last season? And he's probably the best academy player we've currently got. I didn't get that from Manning at all. I don't understand why you'd go and spend silly money on XYZ players, but ignore, other players who have been our best players in recent years have come from the academy. You look at Viner, Pring, O'Leary, Conway for a bit, Alex Scott, Belarus, alright, he's been released now, but looked really good before the injuries. I want to get back to those sort of points, hopefully. He said he seems to think that that's really important to hopefully achieve the goals this season, which is obviously, try and challenge for that top 6, try and get promoted. Same as everyone else in the division. We did it last season. Alright, yeah, the playoffs went very badly, but just getting there was an achievement in itself. Now we need to try and prove that we can be in and around it, or hopefully in it again next season. He said he's very excited to meet the players, so obviously he's not met them yet. I suspect he's probably met one or two when he's been knocking around the HPC, having a look around and whatever before he signed the contract. You might have bumped into a couple, but I think most of them are still on holiday next year at the moment. They go back for pre-season testing on the 25th, which is a week yesterday, I do believe. Yeah, a week yesterday. So hopefully that will go well. We typically get a fair bit of content from the club around that. Like there's typically like pre-season montages and stuff each day, and like little kind of roundups of what the squad have been up to, and a little bit of a sneak peek at some new signings, hopefully, which we'll come on to at the end of this, because there are links with Adam Randall from Plymouth. So yeah, he says the hard work will start next week and it won't stop until the end of the season, until they've achieved their goals through the next few months and ultimately the next year, where hopefully we end up seeing Bristol City once again in a playoff push, once again in the playoffs, and hopefully maybe even in the Premier League this time next year. We could have been doing a fixture video for the Premier League, who knows, that would be amazing, wouldn't it? He said he does remember the atmosphere from his time at Barnsley. Those who will remember from, what would have been, January 2020 I think it was, Nicholas Eliasson against Barnsley in the last minute winner. Oh wow, certainly a very late winner. Took his shirt off, came over to Section 82, etc. Gerhard Struber was the manager of Barnsley that day. One of the best atmospheres from that sort of time at Ashton Gate, to be fair. Really, really strong. For some reason I've just got an avid memory of singing the Jay Da Silva song for about 10 minutes straight before that goal went in, and he did end up getting the assist, I think. The ball kind of came across from the left hand side of Larson, just volleys it into the far corner. Lovely goal. Go and watch it. Go and watch it if you haven't already. Excellent, excellent football. But yeah, he then went on to talk about wanting to get all the stands bouncing. I think the exact quote was, "I want to have a moment where all stands are bouncing," or something like that. His English isn't great, so you'll have to bear with him on that, I think, in interviews for those who haven't seen the press conference, or maybe haven't had a chance to so far. But he thinks the Championship is very competitive. He kind of went on to talk about the league and the division in general. Very competitive, thinks it's probably the best second division in the world, which is interesting, having come from Cologne last season, who were in the Bundesliga 2. And obviously eventually I think won the league, or certainly got promoted. So that's an interesting little kind of side-by-side comparison, I guess. For him, he said he wants to control games, he wants to dominate games, so hopefully we still see the possession sort of element that we had under Manning, but with a bit more intent maybe, because a lot of the time with Manning it was a lot of sideways, you know, tippy-tappy, let's go back to O'Leary, let's go sideways to Viner, to Tanner, to Pring, to McNally, to Knight, to Bird, to back inside, and etc. Whereas what you really want to see is O'Leary to Viner, to Tanner, to Bird, to fucking Mayulu or Armstrong or whoever's up front. And hopefully then into the back of the net. We'll come on to Fally Mayulu in a minute, but that's a different topic. He says, you know, City did very well last season getting into that top 6, and he thinks that they can hopefully surprise the whole league and do it again, or maybe even go one better and try and go up, or try and sneak in that top 2. I mean, that's an incredibly rogue shout this early on, but who knows? Maybe we can dream a little bit, maybe just a smidge. And then the last thing that I saw in the press conference was a John Lansdowne message to the supporters. He said, "Get behind us and come on the journey with us." Your thoughts on John Lansdowne, I'll let you all leave down in the comments below. I'm not going to comment on that on too much. Like I said, leave your comments below on Struber, on the press conference, on sort of first impressions, stuff you've read up on him, if you've done a bit of research like I've tried to do here and there. It's been a bit of a late run from Struber almost in terms of like coming on to being the favourite and what have you. And Rob Edwards seemingly going to get announced at Middlesbrough today, who initially looked like was almost certain for the City job at one point. But yeah, moving back to transfer rumours, it's only really Adam Randall that we've been linked with at the moment from Plymouth. Very strong midfielder. Seemed to play a lot more sort of as a holding midfielder for them last season, but seemingly better in kind of the ball carrier role, like Jason Knight sort of style, box to box, picking the ball up, moving it on, driving runs, etc, etc. So hopefully that goes through. Apparently it's advanced talks from what I read on Football Insider today. I'll leave the tweet linked down below. Sorry, we got there in the end. So hopefully that goes through. I'd like it personally. Let me know your thoughts on that down in the comments below. And then you're looking at players like Mayulu, like Yu Hirakawa, like Josh Stokes, who signed a new contract yesterday. Mayulu and Stokes specifically, obviously coming back from loans. Stokes never had a chance at the first team. Mayulu did, and it wasn't very good. To put it blankly, we all know it wasn't great, don't we? So that'll be interesting to see if we can get a tune out of him in pre-season, and then see if he sticks around. Obviously, he's played in Austria the last couple of years. Struber is Austrian, so maybe if they can kind of get on the same sort of level with each other a little bit. Obviously, Mayulu's not Austrian; he's French, but you know, they might be slightly familiar with what Mayulu wants from doing well in Austria, etc, etc. But Armstrong, Wells needs a new contract. Armstrong's still knocking around. Be interested to see where he goes next season as to whether or not he can actually score some goals. He's got everything about his game except that final finish and maybe a little bit of a first touch at points. It does feel like he's got a trampoline on his chest, bless him. Hirakawa obviously took a little while to adapt, but I think we started to see better signs from him towards the end of the season. He kind of came in strong, dipped for quite a long period of time in the middle, and then finished on a relative high at points. But hopefully if he beefs up a little bit over the summer as well, we might be able to unlock a really, really strong winger. But yeah, overall, really happy. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I'm going to try and leave a link to an article later tonight that I'm going to write. This is probably going up around 3 PM. The article will hopefully be up around like 6, 7ish. But yeah, a busy old day ahead for me, so I'm going to wrap this one up here. But yeah, like I said, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed Gerhard Struber's Cider Army. Hopefully I do too. And I'll see you this time next week for a fixture release video. Catch you in the next one.
My silver soul, can you dig any deeper now?